Can I just say how cool this is, but it is so bizarre. StreamYard now will allow you to have your screen horizontal and vertical. And so I'm seeing two different screens on here. Anyway, it's pretty cool. I think when I start this, there's a link that pops up if you want to know what platform I'm using. It's StreamYard. All right. I don't know. Maybe I'll go to another platform later, but I've been using this for so long that I'm just used to it now. So anyway, welcome to another episode of the Tina Parker Show. Today's day 19 out of 30. We are doing a 30 day of 100 hill elevated squats. And the reason for it is just to prove to yourself, if you are trying to create some new habits in your life, if you're trying to break some old belief systems and start trusting yourself again, you can start by just doing small things, small changes in your life. And when it gets hard, so like your legs are shaking because you've done, 25 or 50 and you want to give up, but you keep going through, you're going to, start to believe in yourself again. You guys, I just have been eating some ice that has grape flavoring on it. And anyway, you like that's fun. Don't mind me today. All right, you guys ready? Let's rock and roll. Welcome back to day 19. Well, we're not back to day 19. We're on day 19 of 30-day challenge. Okay, and each day I'm bringing a theme. I'm bringing a way or a conversation that will help you ladies become better leaders, help you kind of understand maybe why things have been holding you back or different things. But it's a great opportunity to learn. Okay, today we're talking about emotional regulation because leadership starts with how you handle pressure. All right. There's a lot of people are experiencing a lot of pressure right now, right? So this is important. There's a reactive mind, okay? So some of us, we could have something happen to us, or we could go through a separation, a job loss, there's just a lot of things. Maybe it's the food stamps for you. Your reactive mind can store a lot of painful moments that you've had, okay? When something reminds you of that pain, it hijacks our response. Instead of looking at things like, oh, this is an opportunity, you look at it like fear. You just have these engrams in your brain that takes you back to a painful or a time of fear experience that you didn't realize it was in your subconscious, but it still kind of lingers there. And so when things happen, you react. In faith terms, that means that's the moment you stop leading and start reacting. So today we're going to break that pattern. How does that sound? The reactive mind and how it may apply to you in real life. Have you ever snapped at a coworker, a client, or a kid and instantly regretted it? That's your reactive mind. Old stress on replay. We've all done it. I bet people thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people are getting mad at their boss. They're getting mad at someone. They're like, that son of a b, or, they're just reacting instead of thinking about why they might have said something they said or did, or maybe looking at yourself in the mirror. There's just so many things, maybe seeing things with a different perspective, this is a cool opportunity. But it's just a different way of thinking. That's where the best leaders, that's what they do, is they look at things with a different perspective. And maybe there was something they missed or they had a blind side. The analytical mind, like your logical mind, it can't work when you're flooded with emotion. So you default to this survival, which is fight, flight, or freeze. I promise there's so many people, if you're dealing with some trauma or you're stuck you are not alone. Like, it's a huge thing right now. So don't feel alone. Just learn through it, recognize it. And this is why we're talking about it. Share this with someone, a woman, friend, someone that, sister, anyone that you feel like could use this message. So this engram is being re-stimulated when those things happen, when someone snaps at you or you lose something, okay, and it puts you in that fight, flight, freeze. It's called an emotional trigger that's robbing you of leadership. To be honest, it's being triggered. So here's an example. A client questions your price and you feel unworthy. Not because of her words, but because of old memory that says, I'm not enough. Somewhere in your childhood, you were told that you didn't get good grades, you aren't going to amount to anything, like, I'm not enough. And so you're going to kind of get butthurt, triggered. So you want to catch that pattern. Awareness breaks the loop. So you might start out by feeling it, like, we can feel things and feel them, but then we want to like snap out of it. We want to, step in and catch the pattern and see why that's happening. Because awareness is where that you break that loop. And you want to do this, you guys, because it passes on through your children. That energy, okay, it passes on through generations after you. So it's incredibly important that we talk about and have these conversations and help people break past generational, issues. Here's the fastest way to flip back into a leadership, okay? You're going to breathe. One deep breath calms the body and reactivates the analytical, your logical mind, okay? So scientifically, it lowers your cortisol. Spiritually, it brings you back to peace. Namaste, right? Try it. Inhale through your nose, out. So you hold for 4 seconds. You guys, when you breathe that out, you're breathing out energy that's stored in your body. That's why the breathing is so cool. All right? Do that before you respond to an email, a text, or a fight. Could be a fight with your husband, okay? How many times could it just be like squashed if we just breathe before? That's why, by control your breath, control your business, okay? The woman who breathes first leads best, okay? We're going to talk about clearing those old subconscious engrams, okay? An engram could be that childhood moment that you were told, be quiet, or the betrayal that made you stop trusting people, okay? You might have had some type of betrayal that happened as a child, okay, that created trauma, and it made you stop trusting people. Those memories hide in the body. When you feel that heat in your chest, you're not in your stomach, pause. That's your cue to clear, not collapse. Breathe, name it, and move through it. That's why I say, like, working out or dancing, like, movement helps release that negative vibe, okay? And each time you do it, the charge weakens. You can get really good at it. Leadership in business and life. Leaders aren't the loudest. They're the most emotionally stable. I know some great leaders that are also kind of loud. That could be just the most of the time type thing. Some leaders are, but I think maybe the best are really emotionally stable. They kind of like, things happen and they're just like, we'll get through it. They're not the reactive, like placing fear into people. A boss screams when sales drop. A leader breathes, gathers data, and strategizes. The difference isn't talent. It's completely regulation. Okay, they're regulated. They don't like fear. Things come up. It's okay. Like, we'll get through this. The logical mind looks for solutions or look for an opportunity. The reactive mind looks for blame. Choose which one you want running your business. Think about that. Think about your children. If anything, if you're kind of feeling like butthurt, if I'm talking to you about something that's kind of, I'm poking a bear type thing, think of your children, like how you want them to show up. Do you want them to be anxious and in fear? No, you don't. You want to become the best leader, parent as you can. What does faith in motion practice look like? Okay. So when I say faith in motion, it's like having faith that there's a greater purpose for everything. Okay. But you're doing it in motion. Okay. You're still moving forward. Today, during the 100 heel elevated squats, maybe you're doing something else. Maybe you're not doing this at all, but whatever. Okay. During that, match each set with a breath. Inhale, receive faith. Exhale, release fear. You're training your nervous system and your leadership at the same time. Okay, and I'm going to close here. I did have a couple of reels that I put out. I have one that I put out today that says, "Girl, don't worry about that cupcake you dropped. The baker has a fresh batch coming right out of the oven." Do you get it? So, like, don't worry about little things that happen because there's going to be, whether it's a man, a job, whatever, okay? There's something else around the corner. So have faith. Leadership begins with emotional control. When you master your breath, you master your power. The world doesn't need more reactors. It needs regulated women leading with faith and focus. Control your breath, control your business. This also, I want to say, I don't personally believe that means ignoring things and being passive, and you can still be a truth teller, one that brings awareness. I just think that, and I think that's important, especially when we are in a world full of who do we trust? People are looking for community. People are looking for people that align with them and their message and how they, and who they are. And I think that's why it's so important to be authentic. So, just remember that this is all about transformational leadership. That's what I'm about. Transformational leadership through faith, truth, and energy. And if there's anyone that you think could use this message, send it to them. Also, join the community, the Women of Action Academy. It's in the school platform, and it's in my link in bio, and I'm going to be pinning it in this episode as well. And connect with me. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. And I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. Happy Monday.